Welcome to my channel Old Gold Coins. Today videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins. So let's get it started. The 1971 French 1 franc coin, emblazoned with the national motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, liberty, equality, fraternity, is a significant artifact in the history of modern French coinage. Minted during the era of the Fifth French Republic, this coin was part of the country's essential monetary system before the euro was adopted in 2002. Despite its modest face value, the 1971 1 franc coin carries deep symbolic meaning, national pride, and a reflection of France's social and economic climate in the early 1970s. Its intricate design, robust minting standards, and strong ties to Republican ideology make it a particularly noteworthy issue for both collectors and historians. The obverse, front, of the coin features the iconic image of La Semeuse, or the Sower, a graceful allegorical figure who is a cornerstone of French Republican imagery. Originally designed by Oscar Roti for medals in the late 19th century and later adapted for coinage, La Semeuse is depicted in motion, striding leftward across the field of the coin. She wears a long flowing gown and a Phrygian cap, a classical symbol of liberty and revolution. With her right hand, she scatters seeds upon the earth while sunlight radiates from the horizon behind her, signifying hope, progress, and agricultural abundance. The figure represents the Republic sowing the seeds of freedom, democracy, and a brighter future for its citizens. This design has graced French coins from the early 1900s and remained beloved for its poetic, nationalistic symbolism. The obverse also includes the artist's signature O Roti, etched modestly along the lower edge near La Semeuse's foot, further connecting this coin to France's tradition of fine art and numismatic excellence. On the reverse, the coin proudly bears the denomination 1 francs in bold capital letters, centered above the date 1971. Surrounding the denomination is a symmetrical wreath comprised of olive and oak branches, emblematic of peace, olive, and strength or endurance, oak. These motifs have long held symbolic significance in European heraldry and art, and their inclusion here reflects France's desire for a stable, peaceful, and resilient republic. Encircling the coin's upper perimeter is the enduring motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, a principle enshrined during the French Revolution and retained as the national creed of the modern French state. These words continue to symbolize the foundational values of French civil society and governance, emphasizing the Republic's commitment to civil rights, legal equality, and communal solidarity. The year 1971 was part of a dynamic period in French history. Politically, France was experiencing a stable phase under President Georges Pompidou, who continued the economic modernization initiated by Charles de Gaulle. French society was still digesting the aftershocks of the 1968 student protests and social upheaval. In this context, the presence of traditional imagery like La Semeuse and the Republican motto served to reinforce national unity and cultural continuity. The franc was the core currency, and 1 franc coins were crucial for daily transactions, such as buying food, newspapers, metro tickets, or small goods. Economically, France in the early 1970s enjoyed industrial expansion and modernization, though the looming 1973 oil crisis would later affect inflation and monetary stability. The 1 franc coin, minted in pure nickel, offered durability and longevity, fitting for an era that still heavily relied on coinage for public life and commerce. In daily life, the 1 franc coin was widely used for small purchases and transportation fare. It had the purchasing power of what might now be equivalent to a few modern euros or US cents. The coin's tactile and metallic properties made it convenient for pockets and cash registers, and its reeded edge provided a safeguard against counterfeiting. Due to its robust production and national relevance, the 1971 1 franc circulated extensively across France and French overseas territories. It was one of the backbone coins of the pre-Euro era and often handled by millions of citizens, making it both a practical object and a cultural messenger. Although the 1971 1 franc coin is not considered rare, owing to its high mintage and wide distribution, it remains an attractive piece for collectors of 20th century European coinage, particularly for those interested in French Republican symbolism. Circulated condition, typically valued between $0.50 and $1 US uncirculated or mint state. may fetch $2 to $5 USD, depending on luster and surface condition-proof versions or collector sets, if available. Can be valued higher, especially if preserved in official mint. Packaging collectors appreciate the coin for its artistic design, historical relevance, and cultural resonance, rather than its intrinsic metal value, as nickel is not a precious metal. The first franc coin continued in circulation until France transitioned to the euro in 2002, when the franc was officially demonetized. At the time of conversion, 1 franc was worth about 0.1524 euros. Although it is no longer legal tender, the franc coin, especially those minted during the mid-20th century, remains deeply symbolic of an era when France was carving its modern identity on both the European and global stages. The La Semeuse design in particular endures as a revered national icon, still featured in some modern commemorative issues and stamps. Its graceful depiction of a nurturing republic continues to resonate with French citizens and art historians alike. The 1971 French 1 franc coin is a tangible expression of the Fifth Republic's ideals and aspirations. It blends beautiful neoclassical design with powerful revolutionary symbolism, all while serving the daily economic needs of the population. Though no longer in circulation, it remains an enduring symbol of French heritage. Its smooth nickel surface bearing the fingerprints of a nation's history. Whether appreciated by numismatists, historians, or collectors of cultural artifacts, the 1971 1 franc coin is more than just currency. It is a miniature monument to liberty, equality, and fraternity. The 1976 French 1 franc coin, inscribed with the powerful national motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, liberty, equality, fraternity, stands as a historically rich artifact of France's post-war economy and its enduring republican ideals. Issued by the Fifth Republic, the coin was used widely in everyday commerce throughout the 1970s and holds deep symbolic and cultural significance. As the nation continued to rebuild and modernize in the decades following World War II, this coin circulated at a time of significant political stability, economic expansion, and evolving social policy in France. The obverse of the 1976 1 franc coin features the figure of La Semeuse, the sower, an allegorical representation of the French Republic. She is shown walking leftward, gracefully scattering seeds with her right hand, while rays of the sun rise from the horizon in the background. Her flowing gown and natural posture suggest both motion and purpose. The image, originally engraved by Oscar Roti, was adapted for use on coins from the early 20th century onward. La Semeuse symbolizes agricultural vitality, prosperity, hope, and the nurturing spirit of the Republic. At her feet, the artist's signature is subtly included. The use of this imagery reflects France's commitment to traditional values and a connection to the land and its people, even amid the modernization of the economy and infrastructure. The reverse bears the denomination 1 franc, prominently in the center, with the year 1976 directly beneath. Surrounding the denomination is a delicate wreath made up of olive and oak branches, symbols of peace, strength, and endurance. The olive branch historically represents reconciliation and diplomacy, while the oak branch is emblematic of resilience and sovereignty. Encircling the upper perimeter is the tricolor motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité. This revolutionary phrase, first adopted during the French Revolution, remains central to French political culture and is prominently displayed on all coins of the Republic during this era. Country France, Fifth Republic. Denomination: France. Year of issue: 1976. Material: nickel, 100%. Diameter: 24 mm. Weight: 6 grams. Edge: reeded, milled. Designer: Oscar Roti. Original: La Semeuse design. Mont: Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, mintage. Over 100 million coins were struck in 1976, making it a common but historically important piece. In 1976, France was experiencing the broader effects of global economic challenges stemming from the 1973 oil crisis. Under the presidency of Valéry Giscard d'Estaing, France attempted to balance liberal economic reforms with social policy. Though inflation and unemployment began to rise during this decade, the everyday use of 1 franc coins remained vital in urban and rural markets alike. It could purchase simple necessities such as a bus fare, a newspaper, or a loaf of bread. The 1 franc coin had long been a backbone of the monetary system in France, and in the 1970s, it retained significant purchasing power relative to today's standards. The presence of la semeuse on the obverse was a deliberate choice by the French government to maintain continuity with past ideals, even as the country moved toward the adoption of newer technologies and greater European economic integration. The coin's imagery embodies both tradition and republican progress, encapsulating France's sense of cultural pride and social unity. Though the 1976 1 franc coin is not rare, owing to its high mintage, it holds a cherished place among collectors of modern French coinage. In circulated condition, its market value remains modest, typically ranging from $0.50 to $1 USD. However, in uncirculated, mint state condition, or as part of a proof set, it can command a higher price, between $2 and $10 USD, depending on the quality and clarity of strike. Coins with full mint luster and no visible wear are especially valued among hobbyists. The 1 franc coin remained in circulation until the euro was introduced in France in 2002. At the time of transition, 1 franc was approximately equal to €0.152. As a result, many of these coins were retired from active use or melted down. However, many remain in private collections and are viewed as lasting symbols of France's identity before the Pan-European Monetary Union. The imagery of la semeuse remains iconic and continues to be featured on certain French commemorative issues, stamps, and artistic representations. The 1976 French 1 franc coin is much more than just a medium of exchange. It is a microcosm of France's republican philosophy, agricultural legacy, and artistic tradition. Its design seamlessly combines patriotic symbolism with utilitarian function. While its monetary value may be modest today, its cultural and historical worth is considerable. For collectors, historians, and those fascinated by European heritage, the 1 franc coin from 1976 offers an enduring connection to the ideals and daily life of 20th-century France.